So this is your assessment for dry eyes. So just before I have a look at the anterior surface of the eye and investigate further, I want to just go through a few questions about your issues. So, how long have you had the symptoms of dry eye for? And how would you rate or grade the severity of your dry eyes on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very severe? Okay. And I'm just going to read through a list of symptoms. Just tell me if you've experienced any of these, please. So we've got ocular redness, any burning or grittiness, okay, and any watery eyes. Do your eyes water, either indoors or outdoors? Okay, and any intermittent blurry vision. Okay, and does your vision appear to be or become clearer after a blink? And when do you most experience the symptoms of dry eyes? Is it morning, afternoon, evening time? Okay, so maybe all three. Okay. Do you experience dry eyes whilst on the computer, or symptoms of dry eyes? Do you get the problems outdoors, such as watery eyes? Okay. What about in the car, particularly when the heating's on? Dry eyes watching TV? And what about reading? Okay, that's good. So we'll begin the assessment now. I'm just going to start off with a non-invasive tear breakup assessment using the light. So your job is to look straight ahead and follow my instructions. Okay, now just take a blink and stare. And I'm just assessing how long it takes for the surface to become dry. Blink again and stare. Okay, at the other eye, keep looking straight ahead. Okay, take a blink and stare. And blink again and stare. Okay, so that is the non-invasive tear breakup time. Looking around about 5 to 6 seconds before the tears break up. Break up time. 5 to 6 seconds. Right and left eye. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look at the conjunctival surface. I'm going to use this device for some magnification. Just look straight ahead. Now look to your right hand side. Okay, looking to the left side. Good. Looking up to the ceiling. Just checking the inferior zone of the conjunctiva. And just looking down as I lift the upper lid. And look at the superior conjunctival surface. Checking the hyperemia. Looking straight ahead again. And the clicking is just the focusing wheel being adjusted. Around the limbus. Okay. And for the left eye, looking straight. Take a blink. Now look to the right. Okay, look to the left. Looking up. Come a little bit closer. And I'm just looking down as I lift the lid. Check the inferior conjunctiva. Good. Excellent. Okay. Do you suffer with any allergies at all? Hay fever, dust, pet allergies? Okay, so no allergies. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what I found in terms of looking at the conjunctiva. We do have a little bit of conjunctival hyperemia, probably looking at around grade 2, just there in the right and the left eye, on all zones of the conjunctiva, certainly not in the realms of grade 3 or 4 here. So I'm looking at 2. And just below, I was checking the limbal redness too. Probably somewhere between a grade 2 and 3. The limbal vessels are these here, rather than the conjunctiva. So these small vessels are around, so this is normal. And probably somewhere around here, right eye and left. Okay, so for the next dry eye assessment, we are going to use these Schirmer strips. We have 2 little Schirmer strips with a little fold, which just goes on the bottom lid, so it will cause a little bit of irritation, but it certainly won't hurt. And you will blink normally, and I will wait for a period of time, and we'll check how much tears are being produced over that time period using the scale here. Can you see the scale? We have 2. Okay, so let's do both eyes. So just looking up for me, and we'll place the Schirmer strip under the bottom lid. Good. And for the other strip, just here, fold it over the lid. Okay. Now just look straight and blink normally for me, and I'll just give you a few seconds. Just try and relax. I'll just record the results thus far. So in terms of conjunctival redness, grade 2 to 3, so probably 2.5 right and left, and limbal redness grade 3. Excellent. How are you doing there? Okay, let me remove those Schirmer strips for you. produced in that time frame. So the tear quantity looks a little bit low, which tallies up with suspected dry eye syndrome. We have a reading of 5 millilitres in the right and around 6 millilitres in the left eye. So the right eye appears slightly drier with the Schirmer test. Good. So I think we should do another dry eye assessment. We are going to pop some fluorescein dye into the eye, some fluorescein dye. So I will take this out of the packet. Have you had any recent conjunctivitis at all? Good. Okay. Let's just wet the tip. Okay, just looking up for me now. The dye does not sting. And the other one. So there's a little bit of dye on the conjunctiva there. Just blink normally for me. And I will dispose of the used fluoret. So the rattan filter will sit just in front of the right eye to begin with. I will just shine a light in front. Okay, now take a blink and stare. Okay, blink again and stare. So this is an invasive tear breakup assessment, tear breakup time assessment. And blink again. And blink once more and stare. Okay, and just looking at the left eye before the dye drains out. Okay, blink and stare. Blink again and stare. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're looking around 4 to 5 seconds to break up time in each eye. Okay, I'm just going to take a closer look at the meibomium glands and the upper and lower lids using the illuminated device with the magnification. So just blink normally now. Good. Okay, now looking up, I'm just going to manipulate the lid gently, it won't hurt. And I'm just checking the glands that produce the lipid layer of the tears, which are known as the meibomium glands, which can become blocked from time to time. Okay, and the glands on the upper lid, look up for me. Okay, so we may have some gland capping, which means you may not be producing the full quantity of lipid. Okay, now just look down and let's just apply a little bit of pressure on the lower lid and see if any of these glands are blocked, and if we can maybe unblock a few as we go along. Okay, just look up for me now. Just look up, and I'll check the glands running along the upper lid. And these glands are located very close to the eyelashes, the lash follicles. Good. Okay, so we may have some gland capping in both eyes, so we could certainly recommend some warm compress therapy or a heat mask for unblocking some of these glands and producing more tears. Excellent. Okay, so let me just make some notes there. So we have the breakup time with the Fluorescein. So we have around 4 seconds, right and left. And just referring to the blocked glands, so I'm going to use this scale here. These are the glands that I was talking about. These are open and unobstructed, and this is severe gland blockages. So we have a few of these little blocked meibomium glands on the upper and lower lid, right and left, but there appears to be no sign of blepharitis, so no inflammation of the lids. Okay, and in terms of corneal staining, there is no staining on the right or the left eye, so we're looking at grade 0. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to recommend some warm compress therapy, which is where you essentially use a hot pad to unblock the meibomium glands each day, and I will give you a leaflet on the method. But just before you leave, I would like to instill some ocular lubricants into each eye, and I think I'm going to prescribe some of these for you too. So let's give it a good shake and remove the lid. So you apply these by looking up, lowering the lid and instilling a drop using the pump action method. So just like so. You get 1 drop per use. So if you look up for me, I'm going to instill a lubricant drop in the right eye. Okay, now just blink. Look up. Excellent. And let's instill a drop into the left. Okay. Blink again. Okay, just close your eyes for a second. So, with the ocular lubricants, you can use them as many times as you wish through the day, particularly when you know your eyes are going to become dry. For example, before using the computer, and and you can certainly use them on waking and before bedtime. So let me just complete the notes for you. Okay, and I'll print off your warm compress instruction leaflet. Excellent. Well, thank you for coming today.